This remarkable development coincides with growing concerns in Tel Aviv over a Chinese fighter jet deal with Egypt, a deal that could give Cairo a decisive aerial advantage, potentially shifting the balance of power in the region. The Chinese stealth fighter is making its way into Cairo's skies. Faster than sound and hotter than a jet flame, a new era of aerial warfare is dawning in the Middle East, and it's shaking more than just airspace. Beijing's stealth technology threatens not just American influence in the region, but also the long-standing strategic dominance of Israel. Egypt is recalibrating the balance of power by maintaining ties with Washington while deepening its cooperation with Beijing. A new weapon now hovers silently above Cairo. But what exactly is this secret armament transported by Chinese aircraft? Why is the Pentagon deeply alarmed by this move? And what could become of U.S. military aid to Egypt in light of this growing alliance? All of this, and more, in today's video. Make sure you stay until the very end. Welcome to a new episode on weapons of war. Just days ago, the Chinese Ministry of Defense announced its first-ever joint air exercise with Egypt. Codenamed Eagles of Civilization, this historic drill is scheduled to run from mid-April to early May 2025. The exercise aims to bolster military cooperation between the two countries and is taking place at an Egyptian airbase. China is deploying selected forces and aircraft specifically for this purpose. According to the South China Morning Post, at least 5 Chinese Y-20 transport aircraft have landed in Egypt, alongside a KJ-500 airborne early warning and control system aircraft. But here's where things get interesting. Official sources maintain that this is a routine exercise. However, some defense analysts suggest a much deeper agenda is at play. According to a report by the Pilgrim Mirror, this drill might actually serve as cover for the covert delivery of J-20 stealth fighters, a deal Egypt reportedly initiated back in 2019. The site claims that the Y-20 transport planes are acting as Trojan horses, quietly delivering these next-generation fighters as part of a secret arms deal. If true, this would mark a monumental shift in the regional defense landscape, giving China a major new ally in the Middle East and providing Egypt with a potent new aerial capability. Moreover, both nations have refused to confirm or deny these reports, which only adds to the intrigue and the sense of urgency in Washington and Tel Aviv. So, what exactly is the J-20 stealth fighter? The Chengdu J-20 is one of China's most advanced achievements in military aviation. Designed to rival America's F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, the J-20 began development under the J-20 program in the 1990s. It first took flight in 2011 and officially entered service in 2017. It's a single-seat, twin-engine, stealth multi-role fighter powered by J-10C Chinese engines, which feature serrated nozzles to reduce infrared signatures. Each engine delivers up to 32,000 pounds of thrust. Measuring over 20 meters in length with a wingspan of 13 meters, the J-20 exceeds speeds of 2,400 kilometers per hour, nearly Mach 2, and can cruise at supersonic speeds without engaging its afterburner, a feature known as supercruise. Internally, it houses advanced weapon bays to maintain stealth, capable of carrying PL-10 short-range and PL-15 beyond visual range air-to-air missiles, along with air-to-ground precision munitions. The fighter is equipped with artificial intelligence systems, satellite communication links, and is capable of operating in all weather conditions, including night missions. Most impressively, it can act as a command node for drone swarms, coordinating entire fleets in both offensive and defensive operations, a capability that redefines aerial warfare. So, how could this fighter jet affect Egypt-US relations? Naturally, military cooperation between Egypt and China is shrouded in secrecy. Egypt remains one of America's most critical allies in the Middle East, while U.S.-China relations continue to deteriorate into strategic competition or outright rivalry. That's why Egypt's overt engagement with China, especially in military exercises, sends a strong message to the Pentagon. Cairo is not limited to what Washington dictates. For China, it's a demonstration that it can win over key U.S. allies, potentially replacing American influence with its own, especially in the wake of the global trade war launched under President Trump, which left Beijing seeking new partnerships. Yet despite appearances, Egypt is not abandoning the U.S. In fact, Cairo is simply diversifying its options and expanding its strategic influence. Egypt continues to rely heavily on the U.S. for maintenance of its F-16 fleet and the training of its forces. A full break with Washington is unlikely, for one key reason: U.S. military aid. This aid is reviewed regularly by Congress and is often tied to conditions such as human rights and regional security cooperation. Egypt's deepening ties with China might prompt Congress to reconsider or reduce aid, as suggested by Tactical Report. Some lawmakers may push for tougher conditions or reduced funding. However, given Egypt's critical strategic role, especially regarding Israel and Gaza, a full cutoff is improbable. Instead, the U.S. may attempt to win back Cairo's favor through incentives, such as upgrading Egypt's F-16s to Block 70/72 standards, a move that would ensure continued influence over Egypt's Air Force. And what about Israel? As always, Israel views any Egyptian military advancement with suspicion, especially when it involves foreign partnerships. A stronger, better-equipped Egypt, allied with a rising power like China, is viewed by Tel Aviv as a potential threat. Israel prefers a fragmented region where no single nation can challenge its military supremacy. And Egypt, historically its adversary, is always top of mind. So what do you think? Will China's growing presence in the Middle East trigger confrontation with Washington? Could it escalate tensions between Egypt and Israel? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Weapons of War, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.